Good morning, everybody. Welcome to what's probably on your subscription feed, the 50 millionth reaction video to Nintendo Switch's presentation. This is simply mine, but thank you for tuning in anyway. I deeply appreciate it. The time is around, it's close after midnight. The Nintendo Switch presentation has ended here in America. It's usually later than normal than most presentations. It's usually very early in the morning or sometime in the middle of the afternoon. It's pretty comfortable. They kept us waiting until late fucking night for this one. But it's all said and done. Here's my thoughts on it. I took some notes down while watching the thing. It's very simple notes, so if I miss any small details or big details, depends on preferences for what was actually shown. My apologies if I skim over a few things, but let's get started here. I got my coffee on standby. It'll probably be lukewarm when this video is all fucking done, so let's start from the top. I can't remember the last time I saw a light show and DJ for a Nintendo presentation. It took me back to the days before Nintendo did all the directs and such, and they had E3 presentations and fucking light show, all that. The DJ looking, please just fucking end it all. Please don't pay me much, get me out of here. Then the graphic presentation began, and for a second there I thought I was watching some sort of like Coca-Cola tie-in, because I think of red and white and that's immediately what I think of. And no, it's at the beginning of the Switch show, so let's see what they got going for that. And right off the bat they gave us a release date and price, March 3rd, 2017 at $299 US, $300. I don't even know why the hell I bother saying what the exact numbers. We don't know, it's $300 after tax and shit. And that's a good sweet spot. I enjoy that price. We live in an age where the PS4 and Xbox One have been in the market already for a couple of years, so if you want to draw in more customers besides those loyal to Nintendo already, such as moi, who's getting it day one regardless, you want to have it at a nice little price, and I think $300 is that sweet spot. The lack of region lock, which is, I'd imagine, a really good thing for people that import their games. They don't want to buy a separate Japanese Nintendo console for like maybe those day one views, or maybe because there's just a select number of games that are never released here on the States side or in Europe. So that's good news for them. It's not really a new thing. PlayStation's been doing that since the PlayStation 3 technically, and computer gaming region locking, what the hell is that? But it's good to see Nintendo finally, stepping up to the bat and swinging at the same shit that people have been swinging at for the last few years. Here's something: 2 to 6 hour battery life, game dependence. I thought we were past the age of Game Gears, which that required 6AA batteries just to get that battery life. I'm tempted to not even say that's Game Gear. That's like a Nomad. Like fuck. And apparently it's game dependent. So depending on how graphic intensive the game is, you could be playing it for about 2 hours, and that's all she wrote. So, like Elder Scrolls Skyrim, I hope you don't like playing it on the go, because you're only going to get like 2 hours, and that's like, what can you do in 2 hours in Skyrim? I don't play Skyrim, so it's kind of like a half serious question. I'm sure the console itself is going to have maybe like energy saving features, so that you could probably get more out of the portability of it. And me personally, I'm going to be sitting on the couch, laying on my ass all day playing anyway, because I'm going to be treating it more as a console rather than a handheld. Though if, say, the Switch is, say, the next big thing, like they don't bother with another DS machine of any sort, then 2 to 6 hours, that's, not to mince words, pathetic. I think they can do better with that, but I'm not a hardware manufacturer, so there's only so much I can really input on that. But 2 to 6 hours, depending on the game, that's a little low. So I think in the meantime, the Switch will be more preferable as a home console unit rather than something you can take on the go. If you're going to take it on the go, I hope it's just a small party you're going to, and not a week-long camping trip with no outlets. Now, some of this stuff has already been showcased to us, so if I'm beating a dead horse, my apologies. I didn't really make a reaction video to when the Switch was first announced, so like talking about the Joy-Con controllers and how they work, I won't spend too much time on that. My only real beef as a larger than normal individual whose hands are probably a little larger than the average size, the Joy-Con controllers look a little tiny. And though they said in the presentation that it feels just right, I don't know if that will really apply to me. That said, I don't really see myself using the Joy-Con controllers separately, like sideways, as a classic styled Nintendo Famicom controller. I'll most likely be using both Joy-Cons at once for the sake of having a left analog stick, a right analog stick, and the face buttons and all that. I just look at the damn thing as ooh, I can feel like I can squeeze that in the palm of my hands and turn it into dust. And then they showcase like the two small Z and L, I mean the ZL and the ZR buttons out there. It's like, this controller has shoulder buttons too. It's like, that, no. There are more shoulder suggestions. I don't see myself playing like Super Metroid on whatever the Switch's Virtual Console will be and using those buttons as to aim up or maybe select weapons or anything like that. No, I don't really see them serving that function well. You know, it was definitely a Nintendo presentation because they were pretty eccentric with a few things here and there, just from who was presenting their company, how they were showcasing the Joy-Con controllers. One point, like, you can take this guy right here, and it's like the fucking puppet master. It's like thinking Hisashi Nagami wants to murder me at some point if I don't buy Splatoon 2 on its release date. For a while there, I was convinced that they were going to tell me that the Joy-Con makes you a magician. It summons glasses with ice cubes in them. You can change the colors by covering them in cloth, so we're a step above color-changing spoons you got from cereal boxes. But no, it's just the Joy-Con comes in different colors. So mismatching colors, which is a little weird. I thought they'd be, no, here's the Joy-Con in blue, and here's the Joy-Con in red. But no, it's mixing match. So if you're, I guess if you're obsessive compulsive, you'll buy two separate Switches to have matching Joy-Cons. In which case, the Switch is a $600 system, and not so much $300 system. On a serious note, I think the ice cubes were the rumble functionality. I think I caught the end of that. I was so confused. I would say the only sour point of the presentation itself, I'm talking about like physically, I don't know if there were multiple translators or just one. By the middle of it, by the end of it, whoever was doing it sounded bored out of his fucking mind. Maybe he was nervous. I don't know. Maybe someone on the young side. But dude, you mumbled through a lot of that shit, and it made one of the more announcement that I was excited for just more anticlimactic. Like, the dude was stumbling over his words when like Suda 51 came out and announced No More Heroes 3. I was like, fuck yeah, No More Heroes 3. Like, let's hear some more details about it. And I think there were details. I know there wasn't a release date or anything like that, but it's like, maybe he's sharing some information, and I don't know, because the translator sounds like he really couldn't give a fuck at the moment. And I think the presentation certainly suffered during that fiasco. And it got worse when I realized that Bill Trinum was up on the show floor, standing next to the EA representative, the guy who looks like he should be standing point guard for an NBA team. He's fucking tall. You should have let him just do the translation. He can make it sound important. It's kind of his job. And I don't know what the fucking deal with that was. But presentation aside, a lot of us were wondering about the software lineup. What was going to be launched? What's launch window? And they delivered on that. And, well, let's start. Look, again, we're at the list here. Let's start from the top. All right, so I'm assuming 1-2 Switch and ARMS are going to be released at launch with the Switch. If they give out release dates, I'm sorry if I didn't catch that. I'm pretty sure they were going to be released along with the system in March. But 1-2 Switch, don't have much to say about this. It looks like a standard party game that you're meant to take home with, well, take to other venues and party along with your friends, playing Quick Draw and Samurai Swords and Clown College. So that's fine, little casual thing there. Could end up being a surprise hit like Wii Sports was for the Wii. Got a lot of Wii vibes from the Switch, actually. The Joy-Con. So like the whole game, the way it was set up just reminds me of the Wii at launch. So maybe they're trying to recapture that magic for the sake of getting more consumers. Next up is ARMS. It's a very straight to the point name. The graphic design of it kind of reminded me a bit of Splatoon, a bit Overwatch. It's goofy. I like it. It's in your face. It's cartoonish. I always dig that sort of thing. Gameplay, Rock'em Sock'em robots with Sock'em Boppers having an affair with Stretch Armstrong. Totally stealing this from my buddy Chris at FTCR, but I demand a Werehog skin for eventual DLC. Again, one of those things that you invite your friends over to play or get drunk, like really, really drunk, and try to challenge each other to not actually punch each other in the face. And the first person that does that loses. And just to make sure Hisashi Nogami doesn't murder me, Splatoon 2. Hey, as a lot of people were saying, it should have been Splatoon, but missed opportunity if there ever was one. I wasn't sure. This was known for a little bit because ever since the first Switch video, we saw footage of Splatoon that looked a little different than the original, but we weren't sure if it was just an updated re-release ready for Switch launch, or was it an entirely new sequel? And it's the latter. Splatoon 2. I really enjoyed the first game. I did a review on it about a year, no, close to 2 years now. Anyway, I did a review on it. I love the game, and I'm very much looking forward to this, and I'm hoping launch-wise, it has more content packed in than what Splatoon originally had, because that was a problem I had with the game at first. Even though they did mitigate that with like free DLC and all that. I'm hoping Splatoon 2, though, learns from that and just adds more to that with future update releases. And we got a solid A sequel in our hands, it looks like. I'm already pretty excited for it. What I was captivated, though, by, undoubtedly, and I'm not talking Zelda Breath of the Wild, I got my thoughts on that later, Super Mario Odyssey. Alright, who else thought they were remaking Sonic Adventure from the intro? Because we get a realistic city here, the sewer lid is bouncing, it's like, oh fuck, here comes the water geyser, and it's Mario. And what a detailed Mario. There's not, like, it's still not Smash Brothers quality, but fuck, this is, wow, look at Mario go. And then like, hit me, wait, Mario's traveling in like a real life locale. It looks to be like New York City. And I'm thinking, oh shit, this is like, Mario is missing Mario. He's kidnapped. To see him do jump rope and other activities in a real life setting with regular proportioned human beings, it was so off-putting. But then like they showed the rest of the game, it's like, holy shit, this looks great. It looks like they're expanding on the 3D world formula, you know, without the 4-player local co-op. And they're making it a singular Mario adventure again, very much like 3D Land and the Galaxy series, 64 and Sunshine. And wow, I want this. Like, I want this now. But it's not launch date, it's launch window, technically. And that was like the biggest case of blue balls you could possibly get. Which is to say, I have that opinion for a lot of games that were showcased this year. During this presentation, I should say. Where a lot of stuff that we saw were not launch date. They're launch window, but not launch date. So it kind of goes without saying for a lot of console launches out there. Something I've kind of been used to since the Nintendo Wii, to be honest. And the GameCube. Well, no, I didn't get GameCube at launch, so I actually wouldn't know how that felt like. Like, I'm super excited for Super Mario Odyssey. I am bummed, though, I have to wait until holiday 2017. Now, granted, I'm going to get the Switch day one regardless, because I am a loyal Nintendo consumer. A Nintendo drone, some of you might say. But I think it would have been ideal if, besides what we're already getting confirmed at launch, we also got Mario, because Mario usually accompanies Nintendo console at launch, and Splatoon 2. I just think it would have been a fantastic way to kick off a system, to make sure, to seal the deal, to convince people that this is not another Wii, it's not a Wii U, it's a new console, we have a new business strategy, let's take it off, let's start high. And they are going to start high in a sense. I know, write the drugs yourself, but we'll get to that in a second. Now, you had to go to the Nintendo website for this one, but they also revealed the trailer for Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. That's essentially a port of Mario Kart 8 from the Wii with all the added content. The Splatoon characters are included into the game now, a proper battle mode, thank God, and a Splatoon-themed stage. If you haven't gotten Mario Kart 8 at this point in time for the Wii U, please do so now. It's a great game. I mean, well, now, no, wait for the deluxe version now. But Mario Kart 8, if you haven't played it and you're looking forward to getting it on the Switch, you're in for a treat. It's a really good Mario Kart game, one of my favorites of all time, and you got something to look forward to. So this is where you start to lose me a bit personally, because as many games as they did show off, not all of them struck a chord with me, if only because I never really delved into the series at all. So it's not so much I don't like them, it's indifference, or just don't know what to expect. So Xenoblade 2. People were excited for this one, happy for those guys, and maybe it'll finally give me a reason to, you know, pick up. Well, no, I have Xenoblade Chronicles somewhere in here. I got that day one when the game was released here in the States. I had a feeling that it'd be kind of hard to find. But then they made it for the new 3DS and lowered its price a bit. But I do have the game. I never got Xenoblade Chronicles X for the Wii U, but people were excited for Xenoblade 2. It looked okay from what I saw. Loved the music. That one thing I can't immediately say right there, from the trailer alone, that soundtrack, gorgeous. And I'm thinking of my buddy Ted from Brain Scratch, Fire Emblem Warriors. I speak not as a Fire Emblem fan, but as a Dynasty Warriors fan. I may pick this up, if only because I love the Dynasty Warriors formula. I loved Hyrule Warriors. That was a great game. And for something like Fire Emblem, it makes a degree of sense to have those kind of characters in that setting to be in a game like this. Just over-the-top antics. And Ted, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I think it's another grind fest for you guys. Hey, more live streams, though. People continuing to see you lose your fucking mind as you grind for 5,000 hours, getting everyone to level 100, and then they will slowly raise the cap to 255. Dragon Quest got plenty of love. 10, 11, Dragon Quest Heroes 1 and 2. Fuck. Maybe it's time I finally give back into the Dragon Quest series. I haven't played a Dragon Quest game in such a long fucking time. I don't even remember which one it was, to be honest. But that's for another time and discussion. Shin Megami Tensei is getting a new entry. Not sure if it's like another spin-off or a new mainline entry. Never played a Shin Megami Tensei game, and I've only dabbled into a bit of Persona here and there. So, again, that's more for you guys that are a fan of the series, not so much for me. Maybe at some point in time, the sky is the limit. Now, there was a brief showing of a Square Enix title in development, the one that looked 16-bit. I didn't catch the name. But apparently it's made by the same people that made Bravely Default, so that's a reason to look forward to that. I did enjoy Bravely Default for as long as the two that I got in the end of it. At this point, my notes just say, boy, this translator sounds bored. And scratch that, translator is awful. And, man, what the fuck happened? Elder Scrolls V Skyrim, most likely the special editions that were released on PS4 and Xbox One. I mean, if you haven't already played them already on those consoles or on the PC, you can sink your teeth into that if you're not already playing the Japanese Elder Scrolls V Skyrim Special Edition. The bad translator aside, I am totally fucking stoked for No More Heroes 3. I was not expecting that at all. I honestly thought, because it was so long after No More Heroes 2 came out. How long ago was that, actually? That was 2010, wasn't it? 2009? It's been a while, actually. My point is that it's been a while since we got the last game. Now, nothing was really shown. We just got a teaser image of Travis Touchdown making a return. Travis Strikes Back, I think that's what the shirt said. Definitely one of the most pleasant surprises I got from this presentation. I should probably review those games again under the Johnny verse. I mean, I made a review for both of those games, like No More Heroes 1 and 2, long time ago, back when we did SGB reviews. And my SGB review of No More Heroes 2 was lost to the sands of time back when Blip was still a thing. And I unfortunately lost the original video file for that. So, you know what, I'm just going to probably, before No More Heroes 3 comes out, just re-review No More Heroes 1 and 2 again. It gives me an excuse to look at Heroes Paradise on the PlayStation 3. So, I don't know. We'll see what happens. Then as we got closer to the end of it, we got a sizzle reel of upcoming Switch games. A lot of things were confirmed off-screen. Glad to see that Sonic Mania is confirmed for Switch. You can find that in the website. It looked like Fast Racing Neo was getting a port to the Switch. My buddy Ted mentioned Rayman Legends. That's a good idea. But again, I'm not sure whether or not these are all going to be available from the start. If that's the case, then hey, that's not bad at all. But I'm still at this point wondering, what do we have to look forward to the day the console comes out? Besides 1-2 Switch and ARMS. If they're even launch titles at all, we don't know. We know launch window, we don't know launch date. And then to give us the biggest grand slam of them all, some could argue, Zelda Breath of the Wild is launch date. It's coming out when the Switch comes out, just like Twilight Princess did for the Wii. And, okay, I mean, that is certainly one way to bring out the console with your biggest AAA game you can possibly muster in Nintendo. It's coming out the same day. All right. Which means those that have been following the channel on my Twitter, I hope you look forward to the next Zelda marathon. It's going to be a small one. It's going to be looking at Wind Waker, Twilight Princess, and Skyward Sword up in celebration of the release of Breath of the Wild. I wasn't sure if Breath of the Wild was going to be a launch game or not, and whether or not it was, I was going to hold off on another visit to Zelda and go straight to Kingdom Hearts, which means Kingdom Hearts fans are going to be waiting a little longer as I revisit the Zelda series in celebration of Breath of the Wild. I hope you guys look forward to that. And hey, that also means that after Zelda, I'm going to Kingdom Hearts. Yay! Hey, this trailer though, damn. I mean, this is the most we've seen of the game by far, with its number of different locales. The game looks great. Voice acting. Holy shit. Voice acting in a Zelda game that, I mean, Hyrule Warriors had voice acting in a sense, but they're going full fucking force with this one. The narration, the characters are talking to each other. Of course, the only one that's not really talking is Link. I'm expecting that. It's silent protagonist and all. And I know this doesn't sound like such a big deal, but for Zelda, it is a big deal. Because that's been something people have been wondering about for years. Over a decade, I would even argue. How long are they going to keep every character mute and just have them speak in this weird Hylian gibberish or Twilight gibberish and just go full fucking voice acting? Why not? I mean, what's the harm that it can do? And I don't think any harm can come for it. And there you go. Breath of the Wild has voice acting. And I'm wondering, will it enhance the experience? Will it lessen the experience? The voice acting's got to be tolerable in any sense. I'm hoping Breath of the Wild is a phenomenal game. I really want it to be. Well, I mean, I'm always in the market for a great Zelda game, and one of the things that I'm really looking forward to with the Zelda Marathon Revisit is how well the other games hold up, and whether or not Breath of the Wild will truly expand from them, or will it do something completely different and be great in its own way. Either way, as much as I am disappointed and a little confused over Nintendo's initial launch, I do at least have Breath of the Wild to look forward to day one if I happen to get to the GameStop in time tomorrow morning to get my pre-order. I got a really good feeling about this game. I'm looking forward to wasting hours upon hours of my time on it, or at least the hours and time I'm already spending on Final Fantasy XIV, and just having a good time. Again, the disappointment would just be from the uncertainty of what else is coming with the system on March 3rd. And I'm hoping that in addition to just a physical library, there's going to be a healthy digital library to accompany it at launch. And I'm hoping to God it's not a fucking 3-hour setup like the Wii U was. Never forget that, folks. That was an atrocity that should never ever be repeated. But just as an initial reaction, I'm going to get it day one. That was never really in doubt in my mind that I wasn't going to. And I just hope within a year, because they certainly didn't leave me with very high expectations at the beginning, that the Switch is truly a force to be reckoned with. If not by hardware, because, let's face it, I still think the PS4 and Xbox One has it beat, but just in terms of software. And so far, 2017 is looking really good. Again, besides Breath of the Wild being a launch, Splatoon is coming out in the summer, and Mario Odyssey, oof. I mean, that might be my game of the year already. Just from the trailer alone. I know, that's real slapdash. It's like, how immature, John. But Super Mario Odyssey really fucking sold me. Just, oh, I want to play that right now. I just want the Switch to be a great console. I want everyone to have a great time with the console. And the only way I think they can do that is with a strong library of games. Not just for this year, but the year after that, and the year after that, and the year after that. So I'm hoping, like, you know, the console comes out in March. By E3 this year, just keep knocking it out of the park, man. Don't just like show Splatoon 2 and Mario Odyssey. Show us some other shit that we couldn't see during this presentation. You know, more elaboration on whatever the developers are working on. Show us something that we all want to see, that we can, make us excited to get this console. If not at launch, then within the holiday season. I mean, people are probably going to wait. They're probably going to wait until the holiday season to even get their Switch, if they're not a Zelda fan. But give them a reason to want to just line up into the door the next morning to get this console. And I hope within the next few weeks, from the next few months, Nintendo does that, because I love Nintendo. I've been with them since I was a fucking child. And I want to see them succeed. I don't want to see them fail. I want to see them knock it out of the park again. Just like I love it when I see Sony knock it out of the park, because I'm also a loyal Sony consumer. So, all right, that's the end of my Switch reaction, though. I feel there's I could spend 3 more hours talking about this presentation and all of that. In fact, I'm going to be, actually. If you're subscribed to Brain Scratch Commentaries, tomorrow morning, not tomorrow morning, we'll turn tomorrow, sometime tomorrow, probably during or after the Treehouse event that's following, we're going to be doing a full discussion on the entire presentation. So you're going to be hearing my thoughts along with Ryan and Ted, and maybe Lewis if he's not sleeping, on the Nintendo Switch, the presentation itself, the library of games that are expected, that's going to be quite a doozy of a video, I'd imagine. So if you didn't get enough out of this one, if you're looking for a 51 millionth reaction video to this presentation, you can catch the latest one over at Brain Scratch Commentaries. And I deeply appreciate if you give them a look. We're all a fun bunch of people. We don't bite or anything like that. I don't think we do anyway. Ted might. But I thank you for watching me right now on this reaction video. With all that said, I hope you guys look forward to the upcoming Sonic Advance video. Just about over 50% done with that project. And we can move on with the rest of the Sonic stuff so I can get to the Zelda stuff and then the Kingdom Hearts stuff and then the rest of 2017. That's a year. Thank you all for watching. Have yourselves a fantastic night, and take care.